Hello and welcome to FPS Coach. My name is Rambo Kim, and in this video I want to share with you 3 common mindsets that I've seen in professional gamers. So these are all common traits that I've seen with all the players that I played with, against, and also coached. The first mindset is having a student mentality. So that means you're always seeking to learn and to grow and to get better. So never getting complacent, doing all the things that you know you should do to get better. And that means doing all the dirty work, or going into the server and practicing your nade lineups. If you're playing CSGO, that means practicing your angles, mastering your offense and T positions. Athletes, professional athletes, if they want to get stronger, they go to the gym and they lift weights. They do the things that aren't the most fun things to do, but they know they should do to make them stronger. So I see it too often, non-professionals, they just play 5v5 or play pugs and scrims all day, which are great forms of practice, but you can get a lot of work done in a server by yourself. And when you have a student mentality, that means you should be open to hearing the perspectives and opinions of other people, especially if they're your teammates or from players that are better than you. Because the opposite of a student mentality is having a know-it-all attitude. And when you have that kind of attitude, that means you're thinking that you're a perfect player, like you've always made the right decisions. And unless you're a professional and you're like a top 10 player in the world, that's impossible. So be open to hearing criticism, the perspectives of other people, because they may offer you some kind of insider knowledge that you hadn't thought of before, which will help you in the long run. And the best players in the world are always watching demos and watching matches of other pros and teams, because since the games are so complex, there's so many different ways you can play situations, and there's always something to learn. One of the fastest ways to do that is by watching players of your same caliber or better. So they're never settling with just what they know personally, but they're always just trying to expand their own gameplay by watching other pros. And I think the better student you are, the faster and better you'll get. The second mindset is having a positive mindset, or being an optimist. Someone that's always trying to make the best situation out of any situation or a bad situation. And I think one of the worst situations in gaming is when you get matched up with a toxic or negative player in like a 5v5 or a competitive game. Well, the way I like to approach it is I'm playing the game to enjoy the game and to focus on improving myself. So I never let these negative players affect my progress of the game or my enjoyment, right? Like I never let myself stoop down to their same level. I always figure out what I can do to carry the game even more. Like I'll bring that as a challenge to myself. Like, oh, I've got to carry more. I've got to do better because I know I have this player that I have to put on my back. And 2, figure out a way to work with these toxic or negative people if you can. What can you say to flip their attitude around, or to get them on your side? And I think that's what the best teammates and champions are able to do. They don't drop to the same level as these toxic players. They figure out how to work with them. And if you are one of these toxic negative people that just like to complain or blame other players or bring this negative energy, that's like the last thing you want to do if you want to become a professional, or if you want to get better, or if you want to win the game. So if you want to become a professional, there's not a single team in the world that's going to accept you, a top caliber team, if you're bringing in this negative energy. You're just, you're cursing, you're pointing fingers, you're blaming other teammates. That will not fly at a professional level. I promise you that. And if you want to try to win the game, you want to try to hype up your teammates. You want to be positive. You want to bring a good energy. You want to say it's all good, because the second you start pointing fingers and blaming others, that's when the whole team is going to turn on you, and then everyone just implodes. And then what's the point even of playing the game if everyone's just yelling at each other and cursing and stuff? So we play the game to have fun. So let's bring a positive energy and let's try to take the high road when we can. And when you have a positive mindset, I think it helps you play more calm, cool, and collected under pressure during those pressure matches or land situations, or when you're playing in a tournament. Because if you're just in that more chill state of mind where you're not letting every little negative thing affect you in a negative way, you're going to perform better. So try to take the high road, try to stay positive. And if you do ever play with a toxic or negative player, try to figure out what you can do to work with them. How can you make the situation better? What can I do what can I say? What can I do to win this match? And then just have more fun in the game. And the third mindset is having or activating a try-hard mode or a try-hard mindset, where I think professionals, they are always, no matter when they play, even if it's like a pug scrim, aim map, deathmatch, whatever, anytime they're playing, they're always activating try-hard mode, and they're always putting themselves in that mindset of I'm going to be the best and do the best I can every time I play. And when you're able to play with that kind of mindset, it sets a bar for you. Like, you're never going to settle with making stupid plays or bad mistakes. You're never going to get loose or sloppy, because you're always playing like every minute is the land finals of a tournament. And when you're in try-hard mode, that means doing all the little things the best you can at all times. So always making the perfect comms, not overextending, not making gamble plays or making dumb, loose, sloppy plays that you would never do in a normal match. Because when you're setting the bar like it's a land match every single time, you're setting up your standards at a level where not only are you going to improve at a rapid rate because you're just always playing at 100%, but it's also going to build good habits. Hopefully this video helped in some way. If it did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to stay up to date. Thanks.